Hi everybody. Today, for this video, we are going to be painting the Bumble Bee. So to start, just make sure you have your canvas out, your bee upright in front of you. Make sure you have your brushes. I have 3 different sizes. You don't necessarily need 3, but that's what I like to use. You'll have a jar to keep your brushes in. There's water in there, so when we need to change colors, we can wash them out quickly. And you also need a paper towel or a napkin, just something that you can dry your brushes off with after you're finished cleaning them out. So our first step with painting this guy, we are going to do the background. So in mine, I did the background kind of a light blue color. You can do a different color. These are the colors we're going to be using for this painting. So this is the turquoise aqua light blue color. We have white, bright yellow, red, and black. So I'm going to start with a little bit of this light blue turquoise color and just start brushing it on my canvas. And while I work, I'm just going to be adding white right on top, mixing it right on my canvas. So I'll just do little sections at a time, adding a little bit more turquoise and then adding more white. So I'm just gonna work all the way around. I'm gonna go all the way around my bee and fill in everything on the canvas, this pretty color. So you could also, you can make a nice pink background if you wanted. You can make a light yellow. If you have different colors at home, feel free to use, not necessarily what came in your kit. If you have different paint, you can use those as well. So I'm just gonna keep moving this around, spread my paint out nice and thin. I don't want a bunch of globs, and I want nice long brush strokes. So nice from side to side, get your paint spread out nice and thin. The longer strokes you will have, the smoother your painting will be, because every time you stop, pick up your brush, put it back down, it leaves marks. So if you can just go edge to edge, you'll cut down on a lot of those marks. I'm just gonna keep going, getting this entire canvas filled in. And the whole thing, see how it's a little darker down here? It's okay that it's not the exact same color as up here. And this part down here anyway is going to be covered, a big portion of it is going to get covered with the flower we add on. So I'm taking my time around the edges. Try not to get on the bee. If you do a little, it's not the end of the world. It's cold in here. I turn the heat off because every time it kicks on, it's so loud. I'm trying to cut back on the background noise so it's not super annoying to you guys watching the video. You can hear traffic go by. I don't know if you can hear that in the video, but that I can't do anything about. All right, so I think I've got that pretty well filled in. Trying to get all those little spots on my canvas covered. All right, so next I'm gonna get my brush cleaned out and I'm going to paint my bee's head and body. they're gonna be the bright yellow color. So we're not gonna worry about the wings or the little stinger. We're just gonna do the head and the body. So I want a nice clean brush, and I'm just gonna be using the nice bright yellow color. You wanna really scrub down deep in your bristles. I really jam it down across the bottom of my jar just to get deep down in those bristles. Don't want any of that blue color getting mixed in with my yellow, because that will make green, and I don't want a green bee. So nice bright yellow. I'm just gonna paint his head, and I am overlapping a little just so I don't have a gap from my background to my bee. I want all my canvas color covered. And the body. There. Next we'll do the wings. And they're just gonna be white. I'm gonna use a smaller brush. I'm gonna start with white. So I'll do this wing first. Go ahead and paint this white. And once you do have it all filled in, you're gonna take just the tiniest little bit of that background color, like that turquoisey blue color, and you're gonna blend that in also. So we're just gonna get it nice and white to start. Overlap a little on my edges, just so I have paint on the entire canvas and there's no like spaces between. Get down in this little crack. So while my paint is nice and wet, you don't need to clean out your brush. I just kind of scrape the excess paint off on the side of my plate. I'm going to take just the tiniest little bit of this turquoise color and just kind of brush it in the wings. Just a little bit. It's kind of streaky. So it's very subtle. And then repeat the process on the other wing. I'll just paint it white to start, and then blend in just a little bit of that turquoise color. So nice clean brush, dry down off on our towel, white paint, and fill that guy in. Tiny bit of the turquoise on my brush. Just gonna blend it out. Take some white paint. So we just want to make sure that this doesn't get any darker or the same color as our background, because if it does, we won't see it anymore. It'll just become part of the background. So we want it to still stay very light, so we can tell that that's a wing there. Okay. Next, using just plain white, we're gonna put our flower in. So right now we're just gonna paint it white. That way when we do decide what colors to paint it, those colors are gonna stand out nice and bright on our canvas. So if we just were to put those colors on the canvas as it is now, the color that it is, this turquoise color, is gonna come through and those colors just aren't gonna be nice and bright. So if we block it all out with the white paint, put the bright colors on top, we'll see the nice bright colors. We do need this to be dry. Mine is still tacky. You guys just give it a little bit of time to get it to dry. I'm gonna come in with my blow dryer, so sorry it's gonna be kind of loud. And I'm just gonna get this nice and dry. Right, that should be good enough. So using my kind of medium-sized brush, I'm just gonna start putting my flower in. I'm gonna start with the center, and then you can do like a circle shape, oval shape. Mine's gonna be kind of ovally. So there's the center of my flower, and I'm just gonna fill that right in white. Next, I'm gonna add petals. And all flowers are different, so it doesn't have to be the same as mine. You can do different amount of petals, different shaped petals. Mine, I'm gonna just kind of have kind of circly, ovally shaped. So there's a petal. There's one here, one here. And a great big one here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have more or less. Just depends on how big you've made them and the shape of them. And all flowers are different. So don't worry if it's not like mine. I'm just filling in all these. Trying to keep my paint smooth. I don't want globs. And if you've got one that ended up being kind of a weird shape, you can reshape it because it's all getting filled in anyway. So if I needed that to be bigger, I could just come out to the outside edge and just make it bigger because it's getting filled in the whole way. So just nice, even coat of paint. And there's my flower. When this is dry, I'll go back in and do a second coat because I can still see a lot of the blue kind of shining through a little bit. And I want it to be, that blue to be blocked out as best as I can. That way when I choose the colors, I don't have to worry about them changing color because that blue. So if I were to paint that yellow, it would bring, the blue behind it would show through and it would kind of have like a greenish hue to it. Okay, so I'm cleaning out my brush and I'm gonna go back up to my bee and I'm gonna give him some stripes. So I'll start at the bottom of him because I want my stinger to be black. So I'm gonna use just some black paint. You can use a medium to small size brush. And you don't need a lot on there. And I'm just gonna go in and get my stinger painted black. Right up to the edge of his body. Then I'm gonna leave a space because I want a yellow stripe next, so black, leave a space for the yellow stripe, and I'm gonna put in a kind of slightly curved line for a black stripe, and then this is gonna get filled in. So this is a black stripe. So take your time, try to get your edges nice and smooth. And you want to get all that yellow covered up. If you want to go back in later for a second coat, feel free. But you do want to wait for it to dry. So my second stripe, I'm going to leave a space. So I have yellow, another little curved line, and that right here filled in black. And one more right up here, and this will also be painted in black. So he's got some yellow in between our black stripes. And you can have thinner stripes, some wider stripes. He's yours. You can make him however you want. So if you do thinner stripes, you'll end up with more stripes on his body. If you do wider stripes, you'll have less stripes. And I try to make them somewhat the same width. Don't stress if, no, it doesn't need to be exactly the same. We're just gonna try our best to get them kind of the same. Okay, so I'm gonna keep using my black paint. I'm gonna put an outline around my wings. Same on this side. How about I bring it right down in there? I'll do the side of his little body here too. And on his head, I'm going to give him a face. I'm going to use a smaller brush. So I'm going to give him a couple little eyes. A mouth. Try not to put my hand in wet paint. Not always the easiest. And he needs a little nose. How about just like a little circle nose? And he needs antennas. So on the top of his head, just straight out, I'm gonna give him little curly antennas. And I need to finish outlining. So back with a little bit bigger brush, I use the side of my brush. You can use your little brush. I'm just gonna go around his head. So yeah, that looks kind of cute. I got a little sloppy over here. I'm gonna try to clean that up a little bit. But it doesn't have to be perfect. Add a couple little lines in the wing. There, he looks pretty cute. Next I'm gonna work on my flower. The flowers can be all kinds of colors. You can choose whatever you want. I'm going to use pink for the petals, and the inside I am going to do kind of an orangey color. So to make the orangey color, I'm just going to take a little bit of red in with some of my yellow. And I'm going to add a big scoop of white to that. And it's kind of a very pale yellow or orange now. I want it a little bit darker than that, maybe a little bit more red. So that looks good. And I'm just gonna fill in the circle orange. So that's the center of my flower. And you can use any color you want. Mine's just orange. You just fill that all in. And then we'll move on and do the petals. So I'll clean out my brush, and since I want to do them pink, I need to mix up a little paint. I'll be mixing a little of the red and the white, and I want them a nice bright pink. So to make the pink bright, it's just a little bit of white and with quite a bit of red. If you wanted a very, very light pink, it would be a little bit of red and with quite a bit of white. So I have a nice bright pink, and I'm just gonna go through and paint all my petals this nice bright pink. You could even paint your petals different colors, like they don't all have to be the same color. You could do some pink, maybe the next one could be yellow. You could make, what other colors can we make? The petals could be orange, you could do rainbow petals. If you wanted any green, blue, your blue color and yellow makes green. Usually the leaves and stems are green though, but it doesn't matter. This is just a fun painting. One left. So I'm doing my best to get all of that white covered. I was gonna do another coat, but it's covering really well, so it wasn't necessary. I don't see that color coming through. Too bad. Okay, so now I have kind of a rough edge on my orange. I'm gonna clean that up just with a second coat on top. So I'm gonna clean out my brush and just do another quick coat of the orange on top, just so that my circle is nice and round again. I guess mine's an oval. There. I'm going to give it a little bit of time to dry. Well, I'm going to use my blow dryer, but you guys are going to want to give it a little time to dry. I'm going to cheat. And next I'm going to go in with just some white paint, give it a little highlight. So just on an edge of my petals, going to give them a little swoop. And a little bit on the center of my flower. After the white, we're going to go in with black and give it an outline. So clean out your brush, dry it off on your towel, and just go in with black. And you're going to go around your petals. and around the center of your flower. Also, I'm going to give it a little stem just with the black coming from the bottom. And one more little step with the black. I'm going to put like a little trail just with dashed lines and the black paint. So our last step is to sign it, because we're all done, we're finished. I'm going to use my smaller brush and pick any color of paint that I have on my plate. I like to sign down here in the lower corner. You can sign anywhere you like. A lot of people just like to put it on the back. You can use a pen or a marker and write on the back. I like to use paint. I put a little water in with my paint. Helps it flow better, and I can get my name written in one big swoop. So I'm just gonna put my name right here. There, all done. So when you're finished, if you would please take photos of your finished paintings and put them on Facebook. I've created a post on Willy-Nilly where you can upload, add your photos of all the paintings you've done, and then I can see them, which I love seeing. And you can see everybody else's, and then they can see yours. So thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.